Cybersecurity Today would like to thank Material Security for sponsoring this podcast. Material Security provides faster, more complete detection and response for email, identity, and data threats inside Google Workspace and Microsoft 365. You can contact them at material.security.
A phishing attack at a health tech firm nets the data of nearly 1.4 million people. Cybercriminals bag 3 million Texans' personal information. A crypto bot built to pounce on opportunity gets fed a fake one and pays dearly for it. Fortinet comes out on FortiBleed. It's not a bug. This is Cybersecurity Today, and I'm your host, David Shipley. Let's get started. A phishing attack has cost a U.S. healthcare technology firm the personal data of nearly 1.4 million people. The company is called Xsolis, and it built AI-powered software used by more than 600 hospitals and health insurers. Its platform, Dragonfly, reads clinical data in real time to guide decisions on patient care and insurance coverage. That includes medical necessity reviews, patient status, discharge planning, and reimbursement. According to Bleeping Computer, the trouble started on January 20th. A targeted phishing attack gave intruders their foothold in the Xsolis network. The company caught the unauthorized activity 2 days later. On January 22nd, contained it and brought in outside experts. The investigation found the attackers reached files holding customer information. The list is the kind of data that does real damage. Names, addresses, dates of birth, health insurance details, social security numbers, and most painfully of all, medical treatment information were all lost in the breach. Xsolis isn't the only organization explaining a breach this week. 3 million people who just wanted to hunt or fish in Texas have had their personal data exposed. The Texas Parks and Wildlife Department has disclosed a breach, and like a lot of breaches lately, it didn't happen on their own system. According to Security Week, the department learned from the Texas Cyber Command that a third-party vendor, the company that sells hunting and fishing licenses, had been hacked. The data taken is enough to do harm. Email addresses, physical addresses, phone numbers, driver's license information, and in some cases, passport numbers. More than 3 million license holders may be caught up in the breach. There is some good news. The department says social security numbers, dates of birth, and financial information were not taken. And there's no evidence anyone under 18 was caught up in the breach. Who the vendor is and who the criminal group is behind the attack are both still unknown. Those two breaches had real victims, people who handed over their data and trusted someone to guard it. This next one may be a little bit harder to feel sorry for. An Ethereum trading bot called JaredFromSubway has lost $15 million. It lost it the same way it made it, automatically, except this time the bot got played. JaredFromSubway is what's known as a maximal extractable value bot, or an MEV. It's one of Ethereum's most aggressive sandwich bots. What's a sandwich bot? Well, this is the kind of bot that spots your pending trade on the blockchain. It buys in just ahead of you, lets your trade push the price up, and then sells right after. You end up with a worse price. The bot pockets the difference. It's legal, but it's far from loved in the crypto trading community. It reportedly costs traders up to $60 million a year. The bot's whole job is to scan for profitable opportunities and pounce in milliseconds. A clever attacker built it some irresistible opportunities. According to Bleeping Computer, the attacker deployed fake pools and tokens engineered to look like rich targets for an MEV. The bot took the bait. Over 90 wrapped Ether was sitting approved in an attacker-controlled smart contract. Then they drained it. Ether, USDC, and USDT pulled straight out. Blockchain security firm Blockade caught it on Saturday. The organization behind JaredFromSubway offered a $3 million bounty for the funds back. There was no reply. Then they escalated. They're letting the attacker keep half and want them to return the other half within 48 hours. There's been no deal confirmed. And JaredFromSubway, they say they're not backing down. They say they're still king of the MEVs and that they have no plans to shut the bot off. Here's the key lesson. Automation has no instinct. A bot built to act on opportunity without judgment will act on a fake one just as fast as a real one. Build a machine that trusts what it sees, and someone will eventually show it exactly what it wants to see. And the old adage is just as true for bots. Sometimes some offers are too good to be true. We have an update on FortiBleed, the massive campaign that's targeted more than 430,000 Fortinet devices. And it's a story we've been tracking over the last 2 weeks. Fortinet has now weighed in. This isn't a vulnerability. They say there's no flaw, no patch, and no advisory to wait on. The Hacker News reports that researchers tie this to a broader operation that's been leveraging over 110 million credentials against Fortinet and a half dozen other internet-facing platforms. It's worth noting that this campaign looks like it's running on Moscow business hours, and attackers rank their targets by economic value before they invested any effort. The advice from Fortinet on FortiBleed is sadly basic. Reset admin and VPN credentials, turn on MFA everywhere, and upgrade to a current release. And it's always a good idea to keep your firewall management access off the public internet, and to check your logs for accounts you don't recognize. None of this advice is new, and that's part of the problem. Weak passwords are one problem. Attacks on companies you pay to manage your passwords are another. LastPass is sadly back on a breach notification list. According to TechCrunch, LastPass is notifying customers that their data was stolen. Though, to be fair this time, not from LastPass itself. LastPass was caught up in the recent Klue breach that we covered on Monday. Klue is the market research firm whose OAuth tokens were stolen and have dragged in a parade of security firms into a data breach mess. Hackers got into Klue and then used their OAuth tokens to help themselves to data about LastPass customers stored on Salesforce. That includes names, phone numbers, email addresses, physical addresses, plus customer support case records and sales data. LastPass says its own infrastructure was untouched, and crucially, the password vaults were not affected. Now about those support tickets. Nobody yet knows exactly what's in them, but support tickets are often where people paste things that they shouldn't. And past breaches elsewhere have surfaced credentials and even government ID tucked inside support tickets. When it comes to the Klue breach, LastPass isn't alone. It also hit security firms HackerOne, Recorded Future, and Tanium. Icarus, a newer name on the criminal scene, has claimed responsibility for the LastPass breach and is threatening to leak the data unless it gets paid. For LastPass, this is an unwelcome return to the headlines, and it's likely to bring back some painful memories. In 2022, attackers stole LastPass's entire store of customer password vaults. The vaults were encrypted, but customers with weak master passwords were exposed because thieves could crack them at their leisure offline. Researchers later linked a string of crypto thefts to those cracked vaults. And that's Cybersecurity Today for Wednesday, June 24th. Thanks for listening. I'll be back on the news desk on Friday with the latest headlines. If you like the show, please tell a friend. We've grown tremendously this year thanks to listeners like you liking, sharing, and leaving ratings and reviews. Thank you so much. I've been your host, David Shipley. Have a great rest of your week.
Here's a question worth asking. What happens after a phishing email slips past your filters? Most email security tools only guard the front door, but attackers are already inside. Material Security is different. It's a unified detection and response platform purpose-built for Google Workspace and Microsoft 365, protecting email, files, and accounts all in one place. We're talking automated phishing remediation, account takeover containment, and sensitive data protection without alert fatigue. Find out why companies like Figma, Reddit, and Lyft trust Material to stop the threats other tools miss. See workspace security in action at material.security. That's material.security. And if you do contact them, take a second and say, thanks for sponsoring cybersecurity today.